evening and welcome yet again to Ox Sports Unleashed, Oxfordshire's brand new sports show on YouTube. Yes, we may have had some technical difficulties with our live that was supposed to go out last night, but we're now recording it to go as a premiere on Friday evening for your viewing, if you will. Whether you're in your toilet, your steam room, your jacuzzi, wherever you're watching us, we hope you will join us on the premiere. And we're looking forward to a programme tonight. I said last week was packed. This time it's been sort of gremlin filled, but nevertheless we've got a good show for you tonight. K-Dog, you just eagle-eyed amongst you will notice he's back in the hot seat. How was it not being here last week? How do you think Patrick did?
Patrick did really, really well, actually. I thought it was a really good show. Do you think we got away with going wrong yesterday? Do you think nobody noticed?
Nobody noticed. Nobody's watching.
So no, that's true. That's true enough. Yeah, no, it was a good show last week, wasn't it? Patrick stepping in for the very busy K-Dog last week. Sorry for that. I will be on your screens now, though, for the next 6 weeks or so, because that might put people off, to be fair. So, yeah, apologies for the gremlins last night. We had some technical issues. Ironically, it was during the Oxford City highlights in freezing conditions, and the system froze.
It's strange, that,
so,
isn't it? Was it low lights? Rather
it was
than
low lights. It was definitely low lights, a 4-1 defeat, which we're going to show you in a minute again. I say again, you didn't see it the first time because it froze. But no, we've got a lot coming up tonight. We've got some paddle tennis coming up, and we've got some really good highlights from Oxford City. I will say highlights because they're good highlights despite the result. And obviously all things Oxfordshire. Just a reminder, if you want to see this show, you would be best advised to click on subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications bell, hit the like button as well, because that tells YouTube that you're watching, and it also helps us get the hits up as well. We're still trying to grow the show. We are working very hard behind the scenes to get more sports engaged. We've got some rugby union coming up in the next couple of weeks, hoping to get over to Chinnor next Friday, hopefully, to see the top of the table National League 1 game, Chinnor against Rams. That would be really exciting if we can get there. That's all down to whether our cameraman's available. We'll give him a pay rise if he is.
Roving reporter.
Knock him up to £1 an hour, maybe.
Possibly.
But without further ado, let's crack on with what we have got. There wasn't a lot of football this week because it was a very, very cold weekend, frozen pitches galore. But obviously City play on that 3G, and they probably wish they weren't playing on it after this result.
Absolutely. Playing Maidenhead this week, and we've got the highlights for you here.
Veteran goalkeeper now, a very well-travelled goalkeeper in Craig Ross. He's their captain. Zico Asare starts for Maidenhead, of course, formerly of Oxford City. He's been a real staple in Alan Devonshire's side. He was a staple in David Oldfield and Ross Jenkins' side when he was here at Oxford City. And there's a quick breakaway already, and Alex McQueen could be in here for City. Cross across the box, looking for an option, and finds that McEachran, who fires it straight into the body of Craig Ross, who we were just talking about, and it's taken Asari. Ball loose, but it's really well won by Reece Smith. He'll come forward again. Beckwith now. Good ball down the line for Nathaniel George, who's inside the area here if he can find another blue shirt. Goes one-on-one with McQueen. McQueen stands up and gets a foot to it. Beckwith, and it's gone in! And Maidenhead take the lead. It's Sam Beckwith. A low-drilled shot that outfoxed everyone inside the penalty area, and it nestled into the side netting. It was a low-driven shot from the fullback, and it did not. Jack Bycroft. Carroll now brings the ball out of the area. It's the first goal between these two teams. Oh, it's nicked off him by Humphrey Hughes. It's a chance, and it's 2-0. And it's Sam Barrett with the second of the game. Latrell Humphrey Hughes had the ball robbed off his feet, and Sam Barrett ran in one-on-one with Jack Bycroft and placed the ball past the City goalkeeper. And all of a sudden, it just takes one mistake from Oxford City and you are punished in this league, and it's Sam's chance from City. And at the moment, they are not even letting Ross Jenkins' side get a real feel of the ball. And there's another chance here, and Reece Smith's in, and he's chipped Bycroft, and he could be 3, and it is 3. And Maidenhead United have raced into a 3-goal lead, and it's taken them in as little as 25 minutes. A ball over the top again, this time latched onto by the midfielder Reece Smith, and he had all the time. But you never know. Stranger things have happened in football. Is there going to be a Istanbul-esque comeback from the hoops? Who's going to be City's Steven Gerrard? You never know. Here's Lewis Coyle now on the right, picks a lovely ball up. Maidenhead fans making a lot of noise from behind the Cypher stand as we see it. Coyle sends a shot towards goal, much better from City. Pick the ball up for around Fleet. Again to Pakawa. Ball forward, but it's... Oh, what a goal that could be. Oh, it's a good save from Jack Bycroft. And Sam Barrett has picked the ball up from his own half, spotted Jack Bycroft off his line, and... Throw in for Maidenhead. Taken. Nathaniel George this time has the ball robbed off him. Fleet gets his body in the way of his man. Burley can't quite get away from his man. There's another chance here for Nathaniel George. Finds Barrett, and it's 4, and that is it. If there was any question that City could get back into this game, it's been quashed now, and it's Sam Barrett with his second goal of this game. His first one was a really easy chance that was gifted to him. That one was a lot better. Beautiful shot with his left foot. Know how good he has been, and he's been very good today as well, nipping in ahead of his men to keep this one alive. But here's Tafari Moore on the right hand side, finds Ollie Sanderson, has options in the box. Sanderson, good cross into towards the box, lets it run. Fleet will come and pick up the loose ball on the left hand side. Can he find an option? Cross into the box. Parker's under it, but Clarima has a free header in the end. On the edge of the box, Humphrey Ewers brings it down, good chance, and it is a goal! And City do have a goal in this game, and it's Latrell Humphrey Ewers who partially makes up for that mistake he made in the first half. It's a great finish from the midfielder, and with just over 20 minutes to go, could that comeback be on? I'm not sure about that, but Oxford City do have a goal back in this game.
Not great.
No, unfortunately, but one of those things. It happens in football, doesn't it? And played a little bit better in the second half, which I think will be something that poor Lyon will allude to.
I think so.
In our next feature.
Yeah, possibly. I think the alarm bells possibly ringing a little bit, because they are in the bottom 4, and that was a game really that City should have. Well, it was almost a must-win, and they got thrashed. So there's a long road ahead. Still lots of games, of course, to go. But I have a feeling that they are in a very lengthy relegation battle. And I think if they can finish 5th from bottom, that'll be a triumph, if I'm honest. And that's not wishing to sound too negative, but they are at a completely new level, and it's very, very tough. But there we go. Yeah. Right, okay, so now we will round up what's left of the weekend's football action. Not an awful lot, to be honest, this week. Lots and lots of frozen pitches. But we will go over to our firm of solicitors, Lock, Lyon and Ryde, and they will round up.
I said last week it was shake, rattle and roll. I thought this week, because there is Patrick Lock, it's lock, stock and barrel.
Oh, very good. Yeah, I still prefer Lock, Lyon and
Lock,
Ryde.
Lyon and Ryde it is.
The firm of solicitors, Lock, Lyon and Ryde, and we're going to hand over to Colin to round up the weekend's fixtures. Colin.
Hello and welcome to this week's review of last Saturday's football action in Oxfordshire with Lock, Lyon and Ryde. Patrick Lock writes for the National Non-League paper and edits Oxford City's Matchday programme. Hi Patrick.
Good evening, Colin.
And Paul Lyon is the club secretary for Oxford City Football Club and a shareholder. Hi Paul.
Hi Colin.
Right now then, I'm a reporter for the Radio Channel Sports team and also for BBC Radio Oxford Sport as well. So we start with what didn't happen last week, because the freezing weather meant that all these games were off. Banbury versus Kings Lynn, Didcot versus Walton and Hersham, Northleaf versus Hadley, Kidlington versus Ware, and Thame versus Dunstable. So while Banbury and Didcot are both struggling in the league at the moment, so they might like a weekend off to get injured players back, but postponed games mean fixtures pile up, and the relentless grind of Tuesday, Saturday games can take its toll on part-time players, can't it, Paul?
Yeah, it can definitely. Although in the last couple of years at Oxford City, we've been really lucky. Having the 3G pitch means I think we've only ever had 1 or 2 games postponed in the last 7 years, and that was for snow. So home games for us are not a problem. The away games, different matter when we're playing on grass pitches, although last season we seemed to miss all the bad weather. Whenever we were away last year, we were on a 3G pitch, so we managed to escape. But yeah, once you're playing on grass, if the weather's bad, the game's postponed, it moves from a Saturday to a Tuesday night, and then you've got that horrendous travelling. In our case, it always used to be around the M25 on a Tuesday night, where the road was closed on the way home. Or for this season, it would be a long journey up the M1 probably. So yeah, whenever there's a postponement, it is a nightmare. Except if you're expecting to get some injured players back, sometimes it's good to have the break, but it does take its toll when you get towards the end of the season. You have too many games all piling up at once.
So the good news for Oxford City was the 3G pitch meant that game could be played. That would probably been off in the days of City's old grass pitch, which was abysmal towards the end. I know there's more sort of sand and mud on it than actually grass. That meant that over 600 souls braved the cold weather. But City's fans witnessed one of the worst City defeats for quite some time, Paul. I mean, you got a chance to reflect on that game now. Can you put your finger on what was different from, say, the draw against Kidderminster Harris, which was quite a competitive game?
It was just a poor performance from us, really. You know, we started off okay. We had a shot early on. Zach McEachran had an early shot, but after that, the first half, we hardly ever got the ball out of our own half, and I couldn't really work out what was happening because Maidenhead are a similar sort of team to us in terms of their playing budget and the position in the league, and this was a game that we definitely would have down as a must-win game for Oxford City, and going in at half time 3-0 down was a massive shock. And I think it probably flattered Maidenhead a little bit. We gave them 2 goals on a plate, 2 defensive errors, gave them 2 goals. On another day, we might have gone in 1-0 down and still been in the game. But the 2 errors that came for the second and third goal were really bad. And you can't be gifting centre forwards those type of chances. In this division, you get punished if you give the chances away. And so we go in at half time 3-0 down, and it's tough to get it back. The second half, we drew 1-1. So you could argue there that maybe Maidenhead sat back on the 3-0 lead. But I think maybe you need to look at the team that we put out. We never criticised Ross because he's brilliant at putting the right squad out. But we had Reece Fleet back from injury, sitting on the bench, and Lewis Coyle, who's a terrific workhorse. Both sitting on the bench, and they came on at half time and made a big difference. And I feel maybe if they'd have started the game, maybe the result might have been different. But we'll never know, will we? Ross is loyal to the players who are doing well, and Rennie Smith's been in that position in midfield now for a month, and I guess Ross felt he wanted to stay loyal to Rennie. And Alex McQueen got another start, new player that we've got, and you have to let the manager do the job and let him get on with it. Sometimes he gets it right. Sometimes he gets it wrong. On this occasion, it didn't work for us. We just got to make sure we learn from Saturday and move on and put it right for next week.
Now, Patrick, you had the difficult task of writing an unbiased report for the National Non-League paper. It's bad enough watching a defeat without having to relive it in print. So what was the headline and how many stars did you give the game?
I mean, it's been a bit more difficult this year because last year I had the very easy task of reporting on a City win or draw every week. Really, it's only a couple of games I think we lost at home last year. But one of the couple of quotes I gave the non-league paper from Ross was about how City made a few schoolboy errors. So the non-league paper kind of jumped on this a bit with their headline and put it as "Magpies give the hoops a schooling." So. I mean, probably, to be honest, probably can't complain too much considering the scoreline. But I still gave it a 3-star rating, really. Again, City didn't really turn up. And like Paul says, of course, we were the architect of our own downfall at times, weren't we? But we did at least put some fight in second half, and it was fairly entertaining, I think. But I think the game was pretty much over at half time. So. But maybe for once I was maybe slightly generous on it rather than a bit harsh, like you told me off a few times before, Colin.
No, perish the thought. So at least you didn't have too far to go home at the end of the game, unless you got caught in one of the notoriously bad traffic jams around Oxford at the moment.
No, I mean, that's a good thing, isn't it? Like, we've been treated heavily at Oldham, haven't we? And then had a 3-hour journey back. But thankfully, only 10 minutes round the ring road, and it's nothing much more than I'm used to. But I have to say, the thick coat and the bobble hat stayed on in the car on the way home, just because it was that cold. So yeah, that is the only good thing, I guess, is it doesn't take long to get home.
It was a very, very cold afternoon. For once, I was pleased to be actually in the studio in the warm. So United were in FA Cup action though, beating Grimsby Town 2-0 at Kassam Stadium. Goals from McGuan on 11 minutes and Bowden on 75 minutes. Booked the used place in the next round where they meet Championship side Coventry City. Now, Paul, this is a chance for an Oxford United side that are aspiring to play in the Championship to test them against Coventry City, who aren't doing that well in the Championship. So it should be on paper a relatively evenly matched game, shouldn't it, Paul?
Yeah, I'd expect it to be an evenly matched game. This might even go down as a local derby, mightn't it, really? Because it's not that far away, Coventry. It's less than an hour up the road. I can't remember the last time Oxford United played Coventry. But I thought at the start of the season, Coventry were looking quite good and they were up near the top of the table. But they've seemed to have dropped off a bit of late. And I think this is a good opportunity for United. If they can come out with their best form on the day, I think they've got a good chance of winning this. And of course, with a lot of the Premier League teams all being drawn against each other, the draw's certainly opening up at the moment.
Okay, so Patrick, I believe that only very few other games survived the freeze at the weekend, but catch up with those, please, and also look at the tables and ahead to the fixtures are coming up this weekend. Patrick Locke.
Yeah, it's going to be a very quick roundup this week, unfortunately. As you say, Saturday was pretty much totally decimated by the freezing temperatures. There's only really 4 games on county-wide from League One down to Step 6. So obviously you've already heard about United and City, but the only other 2 games on it, Step 5 and the United Counties Premier Division South, Easington Sports lost 2-0 to Newport Pagnell Town, while in Step 6 in Hellenic Division 1, Clanfield were the only other side in the county that won at the weekend. They had a 3-2 win over FC Bristol. Sunday, I mean, that was equally as thin pickings, really. Oxford United weren't due to play, but Aberdeen United and Milton United women's games were both called off. Oxford City women did play, actually. So, actually, amazingly, a double game weekend for City still, despite the amount of games called off. They had a very short trip to Kidlington Youth on Sunday in the County Cup, and did win convincingly 5-1, with Ellie White grabbing a hat-trick and Emily Harris and Bethany Chapman with the other 2 goals for City as they progress to the next round. So obviously not much change in the tables over the last weekend, but we'll have a quick look at them as obviously some other teams played in divisions where games were called off. Oxford United, they're still 3rd in League One. Obviously League One sides are all pretty much in FA Cup action on Saturday. Despite defeats, Oxford City stayed 22nd in the National League. And despite not playing, actually, Banbury United did drop to 19th in the National League North, but obviously that's a game which they've now got in hand over the other teams. So obviously still time to pick up those positions again. Didcot Town is still rock bottom of the Southern Premier Division South. In Southern League Division 1, Northley still 2nd, Kidlington 14th and Thame 18th. And just a quick look, see what's coming up this weekend. Oxford United, they travel to Peterborough in League 1. Oxford City in FA Trophy action this weekend, so a break from the league. And they host a former league rival, a side that City played quite a lot in recent years in Chelmsford City. A side that probably can't get away from, which might have been nice to have a season away from them. But yeah, got to play them again this year. Banbury United, they host Darlington, who obviously have a very, very long journey down to Oxfordshire in National League North. Didcot Town, they've got an A34 derby, actually. They head right down to the bottom to face Winchester City. And in the Southern League Division 1, it's just Northley and Thame in action. Northley hosts Bedford Town and Thame United hosts Waltham Abbey. So very quick roundup and look ahead, Colin, but back to you.
Indeed, that's it for this week's Lock, Line and Ride. Back to Woodsy and K-Doc for more Ox Sport Unleashed.
Cheers, Colin. Thank you very much. That was Lock, Line and Ryde, firm solicitors.
Absolutely.
If you need any legal advice, don't go to them.
Definitely not.
Right. One midweek game in non-league that survived the weather, and that is Thame United. It was a brilliant victory for Thame against Stotfold in the Southern League Division 1 Central. Bottom of the league, of course, Thame were. And they scored 2 goals through Jaden Carbon on loan from Oxford City. And after the game, Colin caught up with the Thame United boss, Ben Williams.
I'm with a very happy Thame United manager. After your last win at home, you're a happy chappy.
Yep.
You must be absolutely ecstatic tonight, sir.
I am, extremely happy. We have, there's no lie, we've doubled our points tally in 9 days. 2 wins in a row. Fantastic play by the boys. They really showed some fighting spirit today. We rode our luck at times, but also I feel we could have scored a few more goals ourselves. So, we're really happy with the 3 points.
The lonely Jaden Carbon should have had a hat-trick, really, shouldn't he?
He could have done, one was ruled out for offside, wasn't it, I think? So
he hit the post as well.
Did he? Yeah, there you go then. So he's been a goal threat, and that's what he needs to add to his game now, because he's got everything else. He's good tricky winger, good assists, but he's had some chances where he hasn't hit the target, and tonight he did, and he looked a real threat, so no, really pleased for him.
And you started out basically with no squad at the start of the season. A bit like Banbury United, I think. So are you making a habit of this in non-league, are you?
Yeah, probably. We did take over rather late after what happened here in the summer. We did delay pre-season by a week or 2 just to get some players together. So, we're now trying to get a settled squad so we can get that team spirit, which the boys are showing now, and so we're trying to keep the same 15, 16 players, so they're fighting for each other a little bit more, they know each other more, try and get a few team nights out over Christmas just to build that bond, but they're starting to show that as well, which is really pleasing.
Part-time young players, though, their work rate's fantastic.
Oh, it's brilliant. I mean, I don't know what the average age of our team is tonight, but I know it's pretty young. We've got quite a few teenagers out there, and they're learning. Some of them, it's their first experience of non-league football, especially at Step 4. So they're learning on the job. It's a great experience for them, and they're listening and putting stuff in action and trying their hardest. And like you say, they're fit as a fiddle. They keep running all day long, don't they? So it's great to watch. No, I'm pleased. It was a good game. I'm glad we got the 3 points.
That's Ben Williams talking to Colin after that really good 2-1 victory in the week. Similar to Banbury, Thame started the season with no players, in fact. I mean, Banbury started with Jack Hardy and Siri May. I think Thame had to start totally from scratch. New manager, complete new team, and I think, fingers crossed, they're going to start finding their feet and will move themselves up the table out of danger, because
good result for them,
it's a really good result, and we don't want to see any of our local teams sort of struggling towards the bottom, and hopefully they will pull away from the bottom of the Southern League Division 1 Central. Before we move on to other sports, I just wanted to mention some really sad news which has come into us this week, and that's the very, very sad passing of FC Mill's long-term secretary, Paul Wilson. He passed away this week after a long battle with cancer. All of our thoughts are with everybody connected with FC Mills, and of course to Paul's family and friends. Very, very sad news. So hopefully he will rest in peace. And really, really sad news to hear, unfortunately. But I know that he was a real stalwart of FC Mills, long-standing, very well known, really well liked, and just incredibly sad news.
Absolutely, 100%. We move on with some news again from Oxford City Stars. Our ice hockey becoming a regular feature now, actually. After the departure of their manager Simon Anderson last week, could they bounce back with a win against Romford Buccaneers? Buccaneers, I love it. Face off with the Buccaneers. You can't get it anywhere else but ice hockey. We'll also hear from their interim coach, I should say, Shannon Taylor. But we'll take you through the highlights, which we're going to show you now. We'll bumble through them like we did last week with Patrick, and we might even have some scorers this week. So watch it here.
Spoiler alert, it's a thrilling finish.
It is a thriller. So we can definitely say period 1, because that's on the screen.
It's on the screen.
And we can definitely say Oxford City Stars are in yellow. And this time they're still going from Well, they're going from left to right,
first
aren't they?
goal.
First goal as scored by Travis Penny. That was in pretty much the 3rd minute. So good start from Oxford City Stars. We said last week it's a fast and furious game.
Good crowd again.
Yeah, brilliant crowd, isn't it? Over 500 watching these games. Equaliser there by Romford, by Sam Robinson. That was in the 5th minute. Again, it's actually on the screen. I don't know why I'm actually saying that. It's there for everybody to see. But just reiterating. Quite a fast and furious period 1, I would say.
Yeah.
Oxford City Stars are on the attack again. And
another goal.
It's another goal, and that time that's scored again by Travis Penny in the 11th minute.
I think the penny dropped.
Yeah, I think it might have done. So, see
That's
what you
poor,
did
isn't
there.
it? That's so
Let's
poor.
see what you did there. Don't give up your day job, as they say.
I definitely won't.
So again, it's still period 1, and it's all action, isn't it? I think a bit of defending. No,
you just jinxed it there, Darryl.
Ewan Hill in the 11th minute there, equalising goal for
4 goals in the first period.
In the first period, all action, loads of goals. Period 2 now. It's interesting to see. They do change ends, Kieren.
They do. That's another goal.
That's another goal by
So
Danny
Stars
Williams
back in
in the 31st minute. So they've gone into the lead 3-2. Can they hold on to this lead through periods 2 and 3? We'll soon find out. As again, City Stars trying to defend here. Oh, it's a good goal. It's a good finish by Romford Buccaneers, and that was again Ewan Hill.
Again, he didn't score the first one.
Yes, he did. He scored the second goal. Ewan Hill.
Oh, so he did.
That was in the 39th minute.
So 2 doubles.
So a couple of braces.
Went to the penalty shootout now.
Yeah, this is penalty shootout. Now, we were talking about this last week. We think this should be done in football. So you dribble from the halfway line. The goalkeeper can do anything.
Yeah, a bit of skill involved.
Bit of skill involved. See what they got the chance. And you can see there that the first one was a score by Brindley Caps for the Buccaneers and a miss from Bailey in Pincher for Oxford City Stars. And you see again a miss this time from Joe Tomalin for the Buccaneers. And again, it's quite exciting stuff, this, you know.
It is. Loris Tate, good save, actually.
Another good save, another miss.
I love watching the referees here. They sort of waving their arms about how they stay on their feet, Darryl. I wonder if any referees slip
I
over.
think that would be quite funny. Again, that's a miss by Luca Pascali. I wonder if it's Joe's brother.
That's Pasquale.
Yeah, I know, that's a song we don't want to hear.
Good goal from Darren Elliott. Legend Darren Elliott scoring there. Is that making it 2-2? It is, isn't it?
2-2.
So Ewan Hill, the
One
next.
each, actually.
One each.
Oh,
yeah.
it's the green. Look at the
Well, that
green.
would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It will be 2-2.
There is. Ewan Hill scores there for the Buccaneers. And let's see if Matt Lorday can, level it up. So this is the
Sudden
last...
death, isn't it?
Yeah,
now?
sudden death now.
Yeah.
Nathan Long is coming in from the Buccaneers, attacking. And it's a cracking save by Petacek there. So can Danny Williams secure a victory for the Oxford City Stars? He can.
Great goal.
He can. And
Really good goal and skills there.
really good. Good to see.
He's quite happy.
He's quite happy. Yeah. There you can see 4-3, and a great win by the Oxford City Stars versus Romford Buccaneers. And interim manager Shannon Taylor had this to say.
Evening everyone, a dramatic finish at Oxpence Road in the National Ice Hockey League Division 1 South. Caretaker coach Shannon Taylher, first of all, big congrats on the 2 points. What was that like for you being on the side?
It's been certainly an interesting week. Lots has happened. We've had to try and implement some new systems. We've had to try and make sure that the players are all comfortable playing that system. So the last 7 days have been pretty dramatic, but yeah, to come away with a win and 2 points out of the first weekend, I'm absolutely delighted. I think the guys have delivered exactly what I wanted. So yeah, very, very happy.
How's
the rest though?
Absolutely. I was going to ask, so how has this week gone for you? Because it has been a bit of a whirlwind and a very busy few hours, few days.
Yeah, so the decision was made Wednesday kind of mid-afternoon, so I had a few hours to put together a practice plan. Thankfully I've been involved with the team obviously as an assistant to Simon, so being able to figure out roughly what I thought needed to change was relatively easy. And that's not to say anything that Simon was doing right or wrong necessarily, it was just a little bit of a different style from myself. But yeah, coming into the weekend, all I wanted and all I've asked of our players is that they put in 100% effort, and I don't think I can fault that over the course of the last 2 games. They've delivered exactly as I asked and put in the performances that we needed.
And obviously, he's talking off camera, their coach. You obviously mentioned last night's game away at Invicta. The boys, you know, in your mind, performed even better. And unfortunate to lose that game.
Yep.
What can this team now take away moving forwards into next week on the road?
Yeah, I think our performance today, whilst I'm very happy with the win, was not as good as our performance away yesterday, which resulted in a loss, unfortunately. Sometimes those are the breaks and you've got to take the points where you can get them. In terms of where we can go, I think the group of guys that we got in the room are very, very capable. I think at the start of the year we were looking to target a top 4 position. I think if we draw a line in the sand and push from now, I'd like to think that we finish the league in somewhere around the top 4 positions if we start from here. And I think the guys are absolutely capable of that. And if they continue to grow into the systems, we've had nothing short of an hour on everything so far, so it's only going to get better from here.
Great way to wrap that up. Thanks, coach. Congrats.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shannon Taylor there, just assessing his team's victory against Romford Buccaneers 4-3. So let's hope that they can continue that fine form under the interim coach and string some results together. That'll be really good.
Another place we're going to definitely get to at some stage over the next few weeks, because
apparently it's freezing in there. We don't put the heating on.
Funny that. Yeah.
But we should see. Oh, I know, absolutely. We actually featured last week American football's Oxford Saints, and it was a really good piece with the guys down there. And they've shown us a little bit more of their training through the winter months, which looks quite vigorous. There's some music here. There is some bleeping out because the music used was a little bit rich for our tastes. But what we want you to realise is that they've got another rookie day coming up this Saturday, the 9th of December, at the Oxford Academy from 10 till 12:30. So if you're a budding American footballer or want to just go along and have a look and see how they do, please go along to the Oxford Academy. That's the old Piers School on Saturday morning between 10 and 12:30. But let's have a little look at this training. It's what I normally do on a morning before getting up, really.
I think not.
Push the back off of the porch or break a pound down. Get the scrap if it happen to blow, it makes a round sounds. Pussy cat on my lap, push it back and go to town down. Putting rap on my back and I'm black and snatching crowns. I came back around like a selling crack in pounds. I got a bag now, but it's nothing to brag about. Gun blast in the background, I'm a black man with the bloodhounds. Mac 10 making love sounds to a bad chick. She from uptown, no from down south, not a loudmouth. We could around. Hit the music, baby, cut it down. Hit the doobie while you do me indubitably. I feel like I'm a bust now. I feel like a bust down. When I shine bright, blind is up now. In the cut, big black truck pack sacked up. You can pick it up now. It okay. Push the pack off of the porch or break a pound down. Get the scrap if it happens.
Blimey, you can't say they're not going to be well prepared fitness-wise.
That's like my early morning routines, that.
Yeah, I think not. If you want more information about Oxford Saints, you can also go to their website, www.oxfordsaints.com. That's www.oxfordsaints.com. And Gridiron, as I used to call it, American football, a growing sport in this country, and the Oxford Saints is your port of call. If you want to learn more or maybe go along to the rookie trial sessions, then please do go along. Right, the next little bit of footage we've got for you is, as we're trying to branch out to other sports, our intrepid roving reporter Paul Fowler he made the long trek from his home in Standlake to the Banger Racing Arena in Standlake.
Standlake Arena.
This looks like it's great fun. I think I can remember back in the dim and distant past, I'm pretty sure that my mum and dad took me to one of these events once, and I do remember it was very noisy but a lot of fun. Caveat here, Paul has taken some really good footage. I don't think he knew what was going on.
No clue.
I don't think he knows who won this race, but we will look to feature Banger Racing a lot more over the coming months. Similar to Aunt Sally Woodsy, Banger Racing is very Oxfordshire.
Absolutely.
And they race all year round. They've got a big meeting in January, which we'll try and publicise in the new year. It's very early in January. And it's just a really good spectator sport, really good safety as well, because obviously it's a pretty dangerous sport. And it's just good fun to watch. So we'll just show you a little bit of footage from Paul Fowler from the weekend just gone.
There we go. Thanks, Paul, for that. Really good. I love his kids were obviously really enjoying the event and screaming and hollering. It was fantastic to see. I again, about 1 million years ago, was taken there by my family, and we had a great couple of days out there. I do remember it fondly. It was great fun. So if again on a Sunday you're at a loss of anything to do, get along to the Standlake Arena and watch some Banger Racing. It is great fun. And it's actually very similar to getting into K-Dog's car and taking me to cricket.
Are you saying my car's a banger? It's past its MOT today, Darryl.
Well done.
So it's got another year. It's got another year's life. Right, a pretty short show this evening because of the lack of results from the weekend and not many highlights. But I just want to highlight before we go into our regular results feature, Chinnor Rugby, absolutely flying. They had another fantastic win at the weekend, 40-15. Juice advantage, Chinnor. 40-15, they beat the Leicester Lions in National League 1. They are second in the table, and that National League 1 is a similar level, or the identical level, if you like, to League 1 Oxford United in the football parlance. So they're really flying. And next Friday, as I mentioned earlier, we're hoping to get down to their massive top-of-the-table game, Chinnor against Rams. Chinnor 1 point behind Rams at the moment, and it's a bit of a fortress at Kingsley Road. They get big crowds. It's going to be a pre-Christmas game under the lights. It'll be a great atmosphere. So hopefully, all things being going well and the wind blowing in the right direction, we will get ourselves down there next Friday for that game.
Friday the 15th.
Friday the 15th, kick-off 7:45 at Kingsley Road. But brilliant stuff for Chinnor, and there are actually a few more results in the lower leagues than I anticipated. So we'll just run through those results for you now.
And watch out for the scratch result. You watch for it.
There you go, that's the results. A few more than expected. I don't
more.
get your joke about Bishop's Itchington, about the itchy scoreline, but there you go. Also really good results for Oxford Harlequins and for Whitney in the rugby. And I suppose I better mention, just in case he's watching, Gosford All Blacks.
They won again,
They won again against Whitney too. So some good results in there. There's a couple of rugby results in the football.
They were
But yeah, a lot more results. I think the rugby players, they seem to not necessarily care quite so much about the pitches being a little bit hard, and maybe in the lower leagues, the referees are possibly more keen to play than some of the semi-pro leagues.
No goals of the week this week. So again, like I mentioned last week,
Well, there were no goals.
Probably not. Please do send us your clips of any goals. We will use them if we possibly can, if it's a good enough format to use and it shows well on the screen, which is rich coming from us after our struggles of yesterday. Technical faults. But yeah, please do. You can send it to oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com.
And that's pretty much it for this week's show. It's a little bit shorter than usual. The weather got to us and the technical issues got to us. Coming up, though, over the next few weeks, as we've mentioned, we are going to be featuring rugby union quite heavily over the next couple of weeks. We've got John Brodley coming in from Quins, and we're going to feature Chinnor because I think we need to, because they're absolutely flying. Bit of boxing, bit of paddle tennis, maybe in the new year. So we are branching out to other sports. And we're hoping that over the course of time, Oxfordshire will get more on board with us and subscribe. As I mentioned at the start of the show, if you can subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, hit the like button as well, because that all helps with telling YouTube that you're watching. And we will continue to grow this programme for you, for Oxfordshire. It's your programme. We're just the people that bring the sports to you, but it's really reliant on you guys and girls to send all the stuff to us, and then we will happily feature your footage and your games, Darryl.
Yep, no, absolutely spot on. Well said, K-Dog. Well, that is about it for this week. On a week that Gus Miller has signed for Adelaide in Grade 1 cricket in Australia. So good luck to Gus Miller with that. A week where managers seem to come and go quite frequently in the Football League, and obviously loads of other sports was played around Oxfordshire. So, like I say, that wraps up Ox Sports Unleashed for this week, but please join us again next week,
hopefully
live,
where
we'll unleash another Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
See ya.